We have seen category, subcategory, and classification of the five classes. That is man, all. Now, as a OEM, for example, any of you want to start an enterprise, right? Go and get it certified from DPC that I can make product and manufacture and sell, or maybe manufacture and keep it out also as my own of tools for services and other. In that scenario, I need to make sure that my drone is certified by DPC. That is called as type certification. Type certification means type. We are type certified. We are authorizing this drone to be certified by DGC with QCI, that is Quality Council of India, and its testing body. For that purpose, we need to go through a process called as type certification. No person shall operate an aircraft system in India unless such unmanned aircraft system conforms to a type certificate or is exempted from the requirement of that. That means you are getting pilot license, you are getting license for small class room, whatever you are authorized to fly, they are supposed to fly. No person shall operate and yeah, unless such unmanned aircraft conforms to a type, you are supposed to fly a type. As of now, Indian government not so stringent about this. They are still allowing other types of goods till you are categorized now as class. There is no such hardbound requirement at all. Depends upon you. For example, there was a project uh, by government of India survey the villages. So that point in time, the drone operator, though it was mentioned that it has to be a certified drone pilot. That means you have to have a certified drone pilot. But the drones what they were using GPI. Initially, they surveyed some thousands of villages, and later on, once because that point in time when that project was released, at point in time there was no type certified drones available also in India. But now we have almost 100 plus of type certified drones, 100 plus of models. I mean, OEMs have got their drones designed, manufactured, tested, and certified by DPC. That the copy of those drones can be made by those manufacturers and sold. So there is a separate certification document which needs to be followed by a OEM to go through this process. Okay? So that is itself a separate requirement and separate learning for the people who are interested. As I said in my introduction, that I am a consultant for type certification. So I have been already involved with a couple of OEMs who are actually making their drones. So I am offering my consultancy services. Help make, design, test, and go for type certification. For going for type certification, once I have built my drone, I have tested my drone, I have all the documentation to that everything is ready, then I can apply for getting type certificate. For applying that type certificate, I need to fill a form called Form B1. Even a form for application for type certificate. Then the heading of the form is B1 for type certificate. Director General or entity authorized by Director General may, on recommendation of Quality Council of India or any authorized a type certificate for a particular type of aircraft. Say for example, tomorrow Nishan thought that I will start a company and I will make my own drone, and he makes his designs his own, and company designs it, so does all the testing of whatever the report are. And all that details right of type of that drone. all the details.
Uh, Mangesh ji, sorry to interrupt you, but you're not sounding clear. I think,
Yeah,
Once
your microphone is probably too far away from you.
now, can you hear me now?
yes, yes, now
Yes.
it is good.
Maybe a network issue could be, because I can see whenever I speak the microphone I can see it properly. Maybe in between could be a network issue. Okay, but now I hope now I'm sounding it proper.
Yes, yes.
Right? So Director General or any entity authorized by DGC, okay, Director General in this behalf, may on recommendation of Quality Council of India. So your drone can be type certified by or can be recommended to be a type certified by Quality Council of India. Now here Quality Council India also doesn't does it on its own. It has authorized couple of testing entities. Okay, so there are authorized testing entities which actually get lives with you to do all this testing. So once you apply through this form D1, this testing entity will reach out to you and you will do some payment to them, and then they will do all the testing. So this whole process is of 60 days. Okay, 60 working days, but that doesn't mean that it is a continuous 60 days. There could be back and forth happening. The moment they find some objection or thing, they might write back to you, or they may ask you for justification, or they might ask you to submit certain reports or details about it. So that point in time, that 60 days meter will stop. They might give you a time period that okay, you may reply within 5 days, 7 days, 10 days, or maybe a 1 month time also, or 3 months time also, depending upon the issue, or depending upon the requirement. So that 60-day meter will stop there. Sometimes it even crosses beyond 60 days also, because there could be a lot of challenges in getting this particular drone as a type certification. Okay, so there could be a lot of documentation, especially we have seen in a documentation perspective, or reports, or lab reports, or even testing perspective also. So a lot of that back and forth happens between the OEM and the authorized testing entities. So that goes on. Once the authorized testing entity has done all the testing and they are satisfied that yes, your drone can be now be given a type certificate, then only they will give a suggestion to Quality Council of India. And then Quality Council of India team will verify and then give a recommendation to DGCA. So DGCA, once they receive the recommendation from Quality Council of India, DGCA will take 15 days, and within 15 days, if they are satisfied, they will issue a type certification for your drone. So, in short, it is required 75 days of drone to be getting type certified, provided your drone is completely satisfying the complete requirement of type certifications. Okay, if it is goes back and forth, then that period can be not only 75 days, but it can go up to 3 months, 6 months, even year, or sometimes even more than a year also. Okay, so there are right now, as I said, there are 100 plus 109, I think, very precise 109 type certified drones available. But I can see there are 200 plus drones which are in type certification. They are in type certification. They are in testing phase, or they are in what we say authorization audit stage kind of thing. Okay, so near the line, I would say next 3 months, 6 months, or more than a year, we could reach a number of 200 type certified drones also. Okay. So what is the procedure, application and procedure for type certificate? Any person who intend to obtain a type certificate shall make an application in form of D1 form on Digital Sky platform along with the speed specified by Rule 46 and following. Who can do this type certification? Particulars of the applicants has to be provided, details required, documents in respect to prototype. That means there is lot of documentations needs to be prepared. You need to prepare a user manual, you need to prepare a user guide, you need to provide a specific documentation. Then lot of testings you would have done it. Like for example, landing gear. The landing gear of drone is capable of, let's say I certify or I state that my drone landing gear is capable of doing 500 times landing. So I need to have certify, or I need to provide some justification. Either I would do 500 times testing, takeoff and landing, and capture that as a video to showcase that I have done and tested it and it has pass that test, or there could be a stress test on the landing gear, whatever is required. All that sort of documents I need to give it to the testing authority. Okay, and they will also test. If they are not satisfied with your document, they may test it 500 times while doing takeoff and landing. Okay. Similarly, you may certify that okay, my drone can withstand 50 degree of temperature or minus 10 degree of temperature. All that things you would certify. You would say that. When you are saying that, it should be supported by a document and testing reports. So there are different labs available which does all this kind of testing. So you need to approach that lab and get your testing report done from them, and you need to submit those reports to certify your claim of your drone. Like if you are saying my drone is waterproof, how do you certify it is a waterproof? Okay, so you need to certify by saying or providing the lab reports that you have tested your drone for waterproof environment or in a rainy season or whatever it is, or whatever the material you have used for your drone, IPS 65, IPS 95, whatever we talk about in mobile as a waterproof mobile, same thing goes for drones also. So, Quality Council or authorized testing entity shall examine the proposal and submit the test report along with its recommendation to Director General within 60 days from the date of receipt of the application. On the basis of test report along with the recommendation, Director General shall issue a applicant a type certificate for specific type of unmanned aircraft system within 15 days. So that is what I said, 60 days plus 15, that is 75 days is actually minimum required for type certification of your drone. But because of all this ambiguity in the testing and all this documentation and all the things, normally it doesn't get over in 75 days. I have not seen a single drone, whatever currently 109 drones are there as a type certificate, get their certificate within 75 days. They have taken minimum 3 months to 6 months to 1 year period. Okay, so it is very very difficult. Plus, see, not only about getting it certificate, the amount of documentation required, the money required to get your drone certified is also huge. To get any drone to be a type certified, you need capital of almost 35 lakhs to 50 lakhs to get your drone type certified. Clear? So acceptance of approval given by foreign regulators on basis of approval granted to any type of unmanned aircraft system by a contracting state. Like for example, you have seen that Harut drone, right? That Harut drone is not our drone. Okay, but as of now it is being used by defense. So they don't need to take any separate approvals or anything. The defense is exempted from these rules. Okay, so they don't need. But suppose if I am tying up with, let's say, some Israeli company like Adani is doing, right? Adani is developing a drone with help of Israel company. Okay, so they need to get their drone developed, designed, developed, and tested and get it type certified. So it has to be go through central government notification in office. Director General may issue type certification to that type of unmanned aircraft system. Import is completely banned. Like we can't import any drones until unless we have approvals. Okay, who can give this approval? This is regulated by Director General of Foreign Trade or any other entity authorized by central government. So import of drone is only controlled by Director General of Foreign Trade. That is the reason why we cannot import any drone outside, especially the DJI drones. We cannot import because they are being banned. Now, who is exempted for obtaining type certificate? Now, no type certificate shall be required for operating following, namely, that is model remotely pilot aircraft system. That means aero modeling. Okay, there could be aero models. Okay, which I would have been created or I would have brought. Those models are not required to be a type certificate. So they are been exempted from type certificate. So without type certification, you can fly model remotely piloted aircraft system. Second one is nano. Nano drones are completely exempted from type certification. So your nano drones doesn't require a type certification. You can design your own small nano drones. Okay, if you want to learn, people have been making small nano drones by getting components available online. It could be on Amazon, Flipkart, or any other electronic websites or drone websites. You will get all the parts. You can make your own small nano drone and you can fly because they have been exempted from type certification. Even you don't require a pilot certificate for flying a nano drone, but they have a limit of flying up to 50 feet only. Okay, so clear on the type certification. If you want to get your drone type certificate, you need to fill a form D1. Any questions on type certification so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Now,
So
when
this
you
is only if we own aircraft, right?
sorry,
Type certification form is to be filled only if we are owning that aircraft, right?
not owning, type certification form needs to be filled if you think that you have to build a drone and you want to make it manufacture. You want to go to
Okay.
the manufacturing process. Then you have to fill the D1. Like you want to make more and sell it. You are becoming like a OEM. Then only you have to fill D1 form. Okay. Now suppose you are making drone. Whatever drone you are making, there has to be certain mandatory safety features to be incorporated in the drone. Central government may in future, by notification in official gazette, specify safety feature installed on an unmanned aircraft system by person owning it, which may include among other safety features. So there are three safety features which are defined in Drone Rules 2021 as of now. The three safety features are no permission, no takeoff for that particular hardware and firmware. Second safety feature is real-time tracking beacon that communicates the unmanned aircraft system location, altitude, speed, and unique identification number. And third safety feature is geofencing capability in that drone. Okay, so these three mandatory features needs to be there in a drone as per the drone rules 2021. But currently only mandatory feature is geofencing. Remaining two are not being activated by the government. So you will not see a drone having a facility where say no permission, no takeoff, or real-time tracking being installed. Things are not being implemented into the current type certificate drones. Only geofencing capability is being implemented. When you are flying a drone, your drone will have a horizontal fence, a virtual fence kind of thing. You will limit its operations. Okay, you know you are going to fly within a specific field of area or field of area, let's say 1 kilometer across that region. You can create a virtual boundary in your remote. That is called geofencing. The moment it tries to breach the geofence boundary, the drone will trigger RTL, that is return to launch. Drone will come back and launch to the launch site. That is what is geofencing will be there. So as of now, only geofencing facility is being implemented into type certification. Now, if you see the second safety feature, which is real-time tracking beacon, this will become important or will be applied when you have something called BVLS rules. Because in BVLS condition, you need government need your drone to be tracked, need your drone to be seen over some UTM mechanism or some UTM platform because you are flying it remotely. So that time the drone needs to be what you say, it should be communicating about its presence, like where it is, location, altitude, what speed it is flying, and it's about information. Like you might have seen in movies or in OTT serial, like whenever we saw CATC scene, they show a radar, and suddenly on the radar screen there is a beep coming up. So it is basically what the aircraft is actually homing, or aircraft is communicating its own information. Okay, so that information is been captured by the radar, and radar will tell you what particular aircraft is, about what location, which location, name of that aircraft. All this information will be available to the ATC. So this feature will be available because that there is a separate component called ADSB, Automatic Detection Safety Beacon. Okay, so this ADSB component is not installed in any of the type certificate drones because this is still not available for drones. There are companies who are making these kind of devices, but they are still not been implemented or tested 100%, and we do not have even the UTM mechanism to track those information also. Okay? That's the reason why it is not there. This will come, or this will become mandatory once you have VBLS rules coming into the picture. Okay. The last one is the no permission, no takeoff. This was initially initiated by DGCA, but this was not again successful because there is no mechanism or ecosystem to track this. Like, how do you check the permission and takeoff for particular hardware and particular firmware? As of now, only the type certification and whatever the firmware is been authorized during the type certification, those drones are only been valid or given permission to fly. You cannot keep on checking and tracking all these things. So this ecosystem requires UTM mechanism to set it up. So no permission, no takeoff. That means you do not have a permission, you cannot take off. This mechanism will come in the picture when you have a UTM into the system. Clear on the mandatory safety features? Any questions so far? So as of now, only geofencing capability is being implemented in your type certification drones. Geofencing is nothing but it's a virtual horizontal boundary. Like if I am flying a drone here, across me there would be a virtual boundary which will be created, and my drone will be flying in that virtual boundary only. Moment it tries to go away, it's a safety feature. नहीं तो drone आपका किधर भी उड़ के चला जाएगा, right? It will go stray away. That is called stray away mechanism. Okay, it will go beyond your capability. Sometimes it will go so far, even your remote will not able to communicate to each other. So to restrict that movement of your drone or going, like for example, you are flying a drone, let's say in city, and there are buildings, and you don't want your drone to be crashed into that building wall or anything like that. So you will limit your drone within that space, okay, so that it doesn't go beyond that space. You will safeguard your drone. Automatically, it tries to go near to that boundary. There would be a threshold set of 5 meters, for example. So by the time you reach, before you crossing the boundary, 5 meters itself, it will give you a warning that you are about to cross your geofencing boundary. But you still override that and you fly further. The moment you hit the geofencing boundary, automatically drone will take over and it will trigger RTL, that is remote to launch, return to launch. It will come back to the launch position. It will land automatically. I mean, no longer the drone will be in your control. Automatically, drone will come back and land at the launch location. Okay, that's how the safety feature is being built into the drone. Like to add on to the safety feature discussion, like government also wants the drones to be having lights. Okay, so this is something called as a strobe lights. Okay, in a type certification document, they have mentioned about the strobe lights, but in drone rules, they have still not mentioned because currently drone rules are only valid for VLOS and daytime flying. Okay, in a daytime flying, that is after sunrise and before sunset. That is only the requirement. Okay, so that is about the safety features. Now, second is once you have a drone, your drone needs to be registered. Okay, without registration, you cannot fly drone. Even your DJI drones, you need to be registered on the digital sky platform. No person shall operate unmanned aircraft system without obtaining a unique identification number unless exempted. Okay, unless exempted. A registration record shall be maintained by Director General. That means DGCA will maintain all the records of the drones, irrespective of how many drones are getting registered on the platform. Okay, so currently I think how many? There are some 26,000 or more than that, 30,000 drones are got registered on the platform. It shall be the responsibility of a person operating unmanned aircraft system to ensure that US conforms to a valid type certificate. See, now this third point is little bit contradictory because it's a part of the drone rules 2021, but it just says that any UN number you are getting a UN number, it should be a valid type certificate. So if you see when they are registering a drone on a digital sky platform, if your drone is belonging to a type certification, it will have a category called as TC. If it is not a TC drone, then it will not get a category as PC. It will be given other name like EX, CN, DN. All those kind of different names are being given for this, because that means that is not a type certified role. Okay, so you can get your non-type certified as well as type certified role registered as of now on the digital sky platform. It is not that government is stopping you to get your DGI drones not to be certified. Okay, you can get them as a UN number. Yes, Nishan.
This UIN number will be applicable to the individual, the pilots, right?
Not to pilot for the drone. It's like your
Okay.
car ka registration number. Your car has a
Okay.
number plate. Same way, your drone will also have a name plate or number plate. That is a UIN number. Okay. So UIN of a drone requirement area. It's a simple term. UIN identification number, unique identification number, or UIN is a license plate of an unmanned aircraft. Nano drone weighing less than 250 grams can't fly above 50 feet, and US owned by armed forces are exempted from getting a UIN number. Okay, so if you have a UIN, if you have a nano drone which is less than 250 grams, but obvious, but cannot fly above 50 feet, those nano drones you don't require UIN number. That means you don't require them to be registered on the digital sky platform. But if you have a nano drone which is 250 grams but can fly above 250 feet, that means it needs a UIN number. Second, unmanned aircraft system owned by armed forces. That means Navy, Air Force, or Army. Whatever drones they have, those drones doesn't required. So Army is being completely exempted from getting UIN number. Okay, so they don't come into the drone rules 2021. Okay, whenever you get a UIN number must be affixed on US as identifiable and visible manner. Okay, you can see here in the picture, like this is DJI Phantom drone. There is number being put over here. You can put a sticker over here. In type certified drones, the OEM is supposed to put a UIN number with a fireproof metal plate. Okay, it has to be a fireproof metal plate on which that number has to be inscribed, and that needs to be fixed on the drone. Okay, now who can get UIN number? A citizen of India. Only citizen of India can get UIN number. He can be a part of central or state government entities. He can be a part of Indian companies. There could be a company which is formed with respect to global also. I mean, international people might be also there. There might be a company which is formed by international body also, but then they need to have two-third directors to be Indian in that company. Then only they can apply for UIN number. Okay, foreign entities leasing unmanned aircraft to above. That means, for example, like Adani and Israel company, they have formed a company. So there also they need Indian. That Adani, they should have two-third of their directors in that company. Then only that foreign company will get a UIN number. Okay, or even leasing company, for a leasing, like you might have a leasing company that will also get it, but then again that leasing company should also have a Indian directors of two-third capacity. They can also get UIN number, but that is only for temporary period till your operation is there. Tomorrow you wind up your operation, you need to deregister your UIN number and surrender back to DPC. Okay, so how do you apply for UIN number? You need to make an application in form of D2, okay, on a digital sky platform along with the fee as specified in the rule 46, and provide requisite details. That means who is owning the drone, who has, I mean, all the information, the GST number. If it is name of the company, the name of the company. If it is a person name, who is making application, his details also to be provided. You need to provide the photographs, you need to provide the serial number, you need to provide the serial number of flight controller inside the drone, you need to provide the serial number of your remote control also. Okay, so digital sky platform shall verify details and issue. Once you have submitted all the details and digital sky platform is satisfied and say that okay, everything is been provided, you will get a unique identification number to the applicant. Whosoever makes the application, he will get that. UIN of a US shall be linked to the unique manufacturer of the serial number. Like your drone might be having a serial number also, unique serial number of your OEM. So that it will link to that serial number also. No person shall replace the flight control module or remote pilot station of an unmanned aircraft system whose serial number is linked to such UAS UI number. That means when you are certifying, when you are registering your drone, you are making sure whatever the flight controller is there in the drone, its serial number as well as the remote control which you are using, that remote control serial number is also been fed into the system. Okay, so everything is tagged and linked to each other. So tomorrow, if your remote control get faulty, missing, or damaged, whatever you want to change it, you cannot do it. In that scenario, you have to deregister your drone and re-register it back with a new remote control. Suppose tomorrow your drone get crashed, okay, and you want to change the motherboard. Motherboard will have a flight controller on it, or your flight controller is damaged, assume, in case, okay, it has burned off, or it has gone faulty, or in that scenario, you want to change only the flight controller. You cannot change the flight controller like that. So in that scenario, you have to deregister your drone, change the flight controller, and re-register back it. So you will get a new UI number, not the old UI number. Old UI number will be submitted, or get it back to the DPC. They will not issue the same UI number back. Okay. So any questions on UI number so far? So that is how you will register your drone. So type certification is D1 form, getting UI number is D2 form. Now let's see the third segment. Third segment is transfer of unmanned aircraft system or deregistration of unmanned aircraft system. A person may transfer, for example, our drones, okay, which drones we are using for training was belonging to a company called Iotech Aviation, because they are the OEM of the drones. They were manufactured that drone. So when they manufactured that drone, they got the drone registered on their name. The UI number was on their name. Now I have purchased the drone. Okay, they have done a sale. So I have purchased the drone. So I become the owner. So once I become the owner, that UI number needs to be transferred back to my name, transferred to the owner's name. So Bombay Flying Club is the owner of that drone. So that drone UI number is transferred from Iotech Aviation to Bombay Flying Club. If I would have not purchased a drone, but I have taken drone from Iotech on lease, in that scenario also for that temporary, like for example, I may have taken a drone, like for example, I am trying to build a medium category authorization also. So in that scenario, I am not going to purchase a drone from Iotech. I have asked Iotech to lease me a drone for a period of 3 years, okay, or maybe a period of 1 year, to see whether I am actually successfully able to run the RPTO with medium class drones also, or I can conduct medium class training also. So I don't want to invest that much amount on the drone initially. So I may say I will use. So for example, in 2022 also, before purchasing my drones, I was using initially a leased drone from Iotech. I was having one drone leased from Iotech. They have given me on lease on monthly subscription basis for using me in my RPT or training for students. Okay. Later on, once I feel that no, I require this drone to be completely owned by me, I can purchase it. Okay. So in both scenarios, whether it is on lease or in a sale, or even in a scenario of like they may not charge me, but they say, okay, you take it as it is, as a gift. Okay, in that scenario also you need to transfer UI number to the right owner of that drone. Okay, even in form of gift. So here says a person may transfer an unmanned aircraft system to another person by way of sale, lease, gift, or any other mode after providing requisite details of transferor, transferee, and unique identification number of unmanned aircraft system in form T3 on a digital sky platform along with the fee as specified per Rule 46. The registration record maintained by Director General and transaction number shall be generated by the Digital Sky platform after electronic verification of transferor, transferee, and the unique identification number. So then only that number. So that name where it was mentioned as Iotech Aviation got changed to Bombay Flying Club on the Digital Sky platform now. Unique UIN number, unique identification number remain same. It only keep a track of that now the legally owner is not Iotech Aviation but the Bombay Flying Club. Tomorrow, like Gautam might have given a drone to Nishant. So from Gautam name, it will change to Nishant name, and vice versa. Whenever, like for example, he has given a lease for 1 month. After 1 month, you can transfer it back to Gautam also. Okay, so that transfer of UN number can be done. Okay. Next option is deregistration of unmanned aircraft system. When an unmanned aircraft system registered in a person's name is either permanently lost or permanently damaged, he shall, on arriving at a reasonable conclusion that it is so lost or damaged, apply for deregistration. That means, in case in during your operation, your drone has been lost, pani mein gir gaya, you cannot recover it back. After, that is, there is a period where you can take a decision when you can think that it cannot be recovered. That means it is lost. Or let's say, assume it has got crashed, it banged into the building, or it banged into something which it has become beyond repairable, like uska arms toot gaya, uska motherboard toot gaya. So you think that, okay, there is no point in repairing, I will purchase a new drone only. Okay, in that scenario, I need to make sure that whatever that drone is there which is damaged or lost, I need to make sure that it is been deregistered on the digital sky platform. Okay, so for deregistration also, you need to use the same form, that is form D3, with specific fee, that is rule number 46. And whatever deregistration you do, the record would be maintained by the director general, and transaction number shall be generated and given it to you, so that you also have a copy of the registration of your drone. Yes, Gautam, you have a question?
Yeah, you were saying drones get damaged or destroyed.
Hmm.
As a side question, is insurance available for self-owned
Yes,
drones?
yes. We'll come to that topic. There is a slide on specifically on insurance. Couple of slides. That is also important part of it. I will touch base to you on that part. Okay, so
Okay.
insurance is mandatory for drones.
Okay.
Okay, that is made
Right.
mandatory by Drone Rules 2021. Okay, so we'll
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so far, are we clear on the type certification, getting UN number, getting UN transferred or deregistered? Before I jump to the next topic on operation parts of the drones, remember, type certified D1 form for UN number, D2 form for transfer and deregistration, D3 form. Okay, okay. So next topic is operation of drones. The airspace map for unmanned aircraft system operation, segregating the entire airspace of India into red zone, yellow zone, and green zone with a horizontal resolution equal or finer than 10 meters. That means whole country of India is being divided into three zones. That is red zone, yellow zone, and green zone. Okay, the airspace map which is being showed on the digital sky platform, it can zoom up to 10 meters of level, finer up to 10 meters. Okay, that means that clarity you have on the airspace map defined on the digital sky platform. Now let's first understand what is red zone, yellow zone, and green zone. Now, to take an example, any restricted area, example, high security area, it could be anything. It could be a parliament house, it could be a government building, it could be your airport, or it could be a designated importance of temple, religious places, or maybe some important place like dam, or maybe atomic energy locations, nuclear sites, or nuclear testing sites. These are all high security or restricted areas. Okay, to understand these zones, we will take example of airport. Now, airport is also high security area. Clear? Now, this high security area is always termed as red zone. Okay, so you can see here in the picture, the high security area is your airport. Now, airport will have a boundary. You can see a boundary over here. Okay, so from the boundary of your airport till 5 kilometer. Okay, circle, 5 kilometer circle is your red zone. So from Mumbai airport, boundary, airport का जो boundary है, wall है, from that perimeter of that wall till 5 kilometer is still your red zone. So even you are away from airport, like airport is in Vile Parle, and you are somewhere, let's say Jogeshwari, or you may be somewhere in Bandra, that is still within 5 kilometer range. That is still a red zone. You cannot fly your drone in red zone. It is completely no to fly a drone in red zone. Clear? Have you understood the definition of the red zone? any high security area, any restricted area, the boundary from that area till 5 kilometers is your red zone. You cannot fly drone in that area as of now. Okay, I will tell you how to fly in those zones if you want. That is later stage. But first understand it is no. Okay, as a pilot, you should never attempt to fly in red zone. Next, after 5 kilometers, another 3 kilometers. Add another 3 kilometers. That is your up to 8 kilometers. Okay, so 5 kilometers plus 3 kilometers is 8 kilometers. So that 8 kilometers of diameter from 5 kilometers to 8 kilometer range, that is called as inner yellow zone. In this zone also you are not supposed to fly a drone. If you need to fly a drone, you need to take a permission of ATC, air traffic control, because that is the area. Yellow zone is being monitored by ATC. Okay, so if you have to fly in yellow zone, yellow zone. Think about just yellow zone. As of now, don't think about inner and outer. Okay. Yellow zone is a completely monitored airspace, and that is being monitored by ATC, air traffic controller. So you need to take permission from ATC before flying the drones in yellow zone. So from 5 kilometers till 8 kilometers is inner yellow zone. From 8 kilometers, add another 4 kilometers. That is from 8 kilometers till 12 kilometers is your outer yellow zone. But outer yellow zone has two segments. In outer yellow zone, from the ground till 200 feet is your green zone. Okay, in outer yellow zone, from ground till 200 feet is green zone. When we say green zone means you don't require permission. You can fly. So inside outer yellow zone, within that range of from 8 kilometers to 12 kilometers and height of 200 meters, that segment you can fly without permission. Okay, because that is a green zone. But beyond 200 feet, that is outer yellow zone, up to 400 feet. Okay, up to 400 feet, you still need a permission of ATC. Anything above 400 feet, still need a permission of ATC. Okay, and beyond 12 kilometers, because 5 kilometers plus 3 kilometers is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12, and beyond 12 kilometers is your green zone. In green zone, you can fly your drone up to 400 feet without any permission. Above 400 feet, it will become yellow zone. In that yellow zone, you need a permission of ATC because that is a controlled airspace. So within 400 feet, in green zone, you can fly your drone. Any question so far? Any confusion? Any clarity you required in understanding? Yes. Yes, Priyam.
So my question is, there are two questions. First one is, the altitude is calculated from the mean sea level, and second one is it calculated from mean sea level? And second one is there a map where you can look up these zones across India?
Yes, I will come to that. But before I come to that in depth, first of all, the altitude is not measured with respect to mean sea level because all our operations is on land as of now. We are not flying drone on the water. Okay, only when we are flying in under the water, under over the water, then only it will come as a mean sea level. But since our operations is on the land or the terrain part, it is always calculated with respect to the ground elevation. Okay, so from your ground, let's say airport, whatever the airport is, that is your ground zero. From there, the altitude has been calculated or height has been calculated. Okay, and for the maps, I will come up once I get this clarification on this. We'll go on the map part also.
I have another follow-up question. Is so if for example I am on a building that's 20 floors high, and I want to launch a drone from there. So will the height be calculated from the ground or from the building?
From the ground
Okay,
because building is elevation, na?
right.
So that already that height is added.
Okay.
Okay, so with respect to that, for example, I will give you much better clarity. Like for example, you are at Mumbai airport. Okay, now Mumbai airport elevation with respect to the mean sea level is I think roughly 6 to 8 meters. Okay, 8 meters is the elevation from the mean sea level. Okay, so you are already at height. Now there is a building. Let's say there is a ATC tower at Mumbai airport. On that tower is, let's say, 10 floors high, and on the terrace you are flying. So already your ground zero is at the runway. Wherever your runway is, that is your ground zero. Okay, and your building is 10 meters. Sorry, 10 floors. 10 floors could be let's say let's say how much? 10 feet for 10 or 14 feet for each floor. You see, 140 feet it will be there. So that 140 feet will add to your altitude, because you are already 140 feet high above the ground from the runway level. So that will add to your height or your altitude already. Yeah, Gautam, you have a question?
No, no, you answered it. Thank you.
Okay. So clear on the demarcation first. Okay, I want this demarcation to be cleared first. Then I will go into more detail about it. So first, understand any restricted area. Okay, it will have its own boundary or perimeter. From perimeter till 5 kilometers is your red zone. Add another 3 kilometers, you will have an inner yellow zone. Add another 4 kilometers, you have an outer yellow zone. Beyond 12 kilometers is your green zone. Now its limitation is 400 feet. Above 400 feet is everything is yellow. And when it is yellow, yellow means ATC. Yes, Priyan.
So if you take example of Mumbai, is the entirety of Mumbai under red, or are there parts of Mumbai that
Yeah,
you
so
can fly in?
it's a case based. I will come on the map. Once I show you the map, all this will
Okay,
out.
okay, okay.
Any other question on the zone part?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you say green zone, no permission required, that means no permission from ATC. But do we still require permission from the police or something like that?
So when I say green, no permission required doesn't mean that no permission really required. Okay. It depends upon case. Like for example, I have a resort. Okay, and you are coming and flying a drone inside my resort. Can you fly it or not? Will you
Uh,
be able to fly it or not? Think from that perspective.
uh,
No,
I will,
right?
of course, no, because I'll take
Not able
permission
to
from.
fly until, yes, you need to take a permission of me, right? Similarly, like let's say I go to a village, okay, some XYZ village I go and I'm flying in a village. Can I fly there?
No.
It's a green zone. Or
You'll have
some
to
farm.
take.
Some, let's say there is a farm belonging to, let's say, Kapil. Okay, he's based out of Silvassa. Silvassa is in green zone as of now. Okay, and he has a farm over there. 10 acres of land is there, and I flying a drone over his farm. Can I fly? Though it is in green zone? No, because that property is owned by somebody. So you need to take a permission of respective person. Like for example, a resort, you need to take the permission of the resort owner. If it is belonging to some farm, the farm owners you have to, or some house, or some farmhouse is there, you need to take permission from them. If in case of village, for example, like Samvita village, we were doing survey, so we can't just go in there and fly drone. We have to intimate the Gram Panchayat of that village. We need to inform to the local police or law enforcement body over there. Okay, if that particular land is falling inside forest, I need to take a permission of forest. Let's say my dam, there is a dam, Tansa Lake, or all those, those are still belonging to some entity. So I need to take a permission, or they could confiscate my drone. They can report the incident to the local police, and they can put me behind the bars also. Though it is in a green zone, no permission required, like that. It's not like that. You need to take and you need to understand that. See, if there could be an open land which doesn't belong to anybody, open land. Okay, there are a lot of places like that. Okay, lot of places like that. There you can fly. Okay, but again, still you need to be very clear and conscious where you are doing this operation. For example, people might think, okay, I can go and fly drone on coast, right? You can't do that because you need to take permission from coastal environment, coastal body. Okay, coastal police. You need to take permission from there, though it is in a green zone, like that. So even though it is a green zone, it doesn't mean that you can just take a drone and fly it. You need to see where you are flying it, who comes under that. Like for example, there are a lot of wedding photographers or aerial photographers who comes to me for training. They ask, okay, I do a lot of wedding photography. in resorts or some places like that, which is in private property or private locations and all the things. I simply tell them you prepare a document and take a permission from the owner of that property. Simple, that you are authorized to do this activity. Rest all other permission, like he might want to take permission from police and all that, that is his lookout. But you take a permission from me that he is authorizing you to do the operations in that location. Similarly, like for example, you are flying on a agri, like I'm spraying. If I'm doing a spraying activity for you, you have purchased that service to me. I should have some documentation to the for that service. Okay, and then I can fly the drone. Though it is I am on a green zone on a field, I am doing spraying activity. I am flying a drone. I need to take have some documentation with respect to that. Okay, the farmer has authorized me or he has taken my services for doing that activity, and that's why I am flying the drone. Okay, in that scenario, you can fly.
Okay.
I hope I answered your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so I will just stop a moment over here on this slide and take you on the. Let me know once you see my browser.
It's visible.
Now I will go to the official website of DGCA for drones. Okay, this is an official website. We will be seeing this website in detail in tomorrow's last session. Okay, I will explain you each option where what it is. But as of now, I will just scroll down, and there is something called airspace map. Okay, I will this map. A new page will open. On this map, I can see the complete map of India. Okay, so I will just remove all the legends. Okay. You can see a plain map over here. Okay, yeah, India map, capital, city, everything. You can zoom it. Okay, as much you want. 10 meter is what it is talk about, so you can see how closely it can go. I hope you are able to see. Right? See, you can see how much detail. Okay, this much. This is the last what I can see. Okay. So this is my digital sky map or airspace map. Now let's see with respect to the zones. Okay, I'm just zoom out just for your understanding. I will not take as of now Mumbai example. I will try to take some other example. Okay, we take some other example. Say, I take example of Kolhapur. Okay? For your understanding, then we'll touch base Mumbai. Okay. Now I will say first state. So state is completely green. Okay. As of now, you see everywhere when I click on state legend, it is showing me everything green with the boundaries of a respective state. Okay, you can see the black boundaries of the states. Okay. Now let me see the red airport. Okay, you can see the red points coming up. Okay. So I don't want to take Pune purposely. Again, I'll disappear. Bigger. Okay. Now you can see Kolhapur over here. I make red. Okay. So this is your red zone. Okay, the airport red zone with respect to the airport. Okay. Now I will say inner yellow. So inner yellow that is 5 to 8 kilometers. Then let me see outer yellow. Clear now? So this is airport. The blue part what you see is actually the airport with the landing strip, okay, or the runway, and the 5 kilometer diameter, your red zone. Then your 8 kilometer diameter yellow, inner yellow, and then 12 kilometer outer yellow. Anything outside the yellow zone inner and outer, is your green zone. You can see anywhere. Even in Mumbai also you can see it, right? You can see. But now you see here, okay, any of these particular locations, right? Now, moment I make it red zone, okay, there is something called as a separate red zone. Okay, see what happens. You got it? So not only the airport, the entire region, like for example, Pune, Ahmednagar, and Solapur, this entire three district, this complete boundary, whatever you are seeing over here, is your red zone. Even Mumbai was completely a big red zone. It was up to here, up to Palghar, it was there. Recently, it was reduced only to this. But even if you see here, I will zoom it furthermore. See how much red zone is there in. Okay. Now, if I remove this red zone, it will be only red, with respect to the airport. But there are some additional locations, like you see here, complete your South Bombay is also red zone. Okay, even some places in sea, okay, or near Elephanta Caves and all those locations, Akal Setu, all those locations are also being red zones. Even your new airport has also come now under red zone, yellow zone, and all the things. Okay, and then you see there are some places here also in Kalyan, Amarnath, or even in Bhiwandi, even near what is this national park. Also, these locations they have made it red zone. Earlier, this triangle what you are seeing was extended up to here till Palghar. Okay, it was completely up. Recently, only they have reduced it. Okay, but if you see in recent times, last 10 days, you see what has happened on the northwest corridor. All districts have been put completely under red zone. Okay, you see here, this is completely red zone. Okay, these are all completely red zone. Okay, now you see boundary. Boundary is always on red zone. International boundary is always red zone. See, it will moment it. I click on. So I can just check. I can just remove all other legends and check. Okay, remove this. I only make international boundary. So this red line. What you see is 25 kilometers. Okay, this right line from boundary to inside is 25 kilometers. That region is completely always under red zone. Okay, always. Then you can see red zone, temporary red zone, airport yellow. All this you enable, you will come to know. So anywhere wherever you see red, you cannot fly drone first. That is no first. Okay, how to fly that we'll see next. First, when you say red, means you cannot fly. Rest, wherever you see green, we can fly. Now, if you see our location, where our flying location is there. Okay, let's see where is our flying location. Okay, Nasik. Now, if you see Nasik also, airport. Okay, this is airport. This is little bit outskirts of Nasik. Airport is outskirts of Nasik. So that is again red zone, yellow zone, outer yellow zone, and all that. There is some important place which is been marked as a red zone also. If you can see here, if I remove this red zone, that will disappear. Okay, it will only show about the airport and its yellow inner and outer yellow. But there is something called red zone. There are some special red zones have been created. This may be some in Nasik. There is a location where they test the guns firing. Okay, artillery firing range is there. Okay, where they test and all those. So those range they will put it as a red zone. Like you see here, there are some places here also. There are some places here. Whereas we are where we are flying our drones, we are flying drones near Vaitarna Lake. You see here Vaitarna Lake. Vaitarna Lake is completely green zone. Okay, so we are flying drone somewhere here. We are surrounded by lake in all sides. Okay, so this line what you see here, we are actually flying the drones. So our location, this Sarwad BK is the village where we will be going, or this resort. Okay, Zenson Lake Vaitarna Resort. Okay, this location we are going to fly our drone. So this is always in green zone as of now. Okay, so we have got authorization from DGCA to fly drone over there. So that place is there. Whereas any other location you see, if you want to fly in Pune, like Pune, I'll take example of Pune to explain you. Pune was not, this case was not there earlier. till December 2024. This was made on 4th of December 2024. You see, I'll show you. I'll double click. You can see here 4th December 2024, 6:30 a.m. They declared this region completely as a red zone. Earlier in Pune, it was only this location, this some location and this airport. Okay, same location here, and then this location, this was there. This was not there, and there were three RPTOs in this region. There are three training institutes in these regions. They cannot conduct a training in this region because it was lying in a red zone now after 4th December. So almost for a 1 month, they were not able to fly or not able to conduct training since their RPTO was in this red zone. They cannot fly. So they applied to Ministry of Civil Aviation and ATC and other bodies to get a temporary permission. And right now they have been given permission after discussion and all the things. Though this is a red zone, they have been given a special permission only to fly drone in their authorized base for training purpose only. Okay, and that permission is verified month on month basis and renewed only on yearly basis. Only on yearly basis. Okay, only on yearly basis. So as of now, they have got only approval for year. Okay, whereas this you can see here, I click it here, it is still 3rd December 2027. So this red zone will be there till 2027. That means they have made this zone or this area under red zone for 3 years. Even you see in sea, there is a place which is being made as a red zone because this is the places where you will have those oil rigs. All those locations are there, okay? Or I because this is a port area, okay? Very close port, Mumbai port, and all those locations, and very sensitive area. That's why this is being termed as a red zone. Okay. So, any questions on the map? Have you understood the red zone, yellow zone, green zone so far? Even you see in Jharkhand, some place they have made it as a red zone because this might be a terrorist kind of activity or something like that. Even here, see, there are some places where there is a critical level. Even like your Madurai temple or your Tirupati temple, Sai Baba temple, all these temples are also under red zone. Okay, so those are restricted areas where you can't fly drone without permissions. Okay, any questions on the airspace map, red zone, yellow zone, green zone, or we are clear on this?
Clear.
Could you talk about the yellow zone again? What differentiates the yellow zone?
Let me put back. Okay, let me take example of so state and airport. Okay, so now the moment I put airport, it shows me about the airport. Okay, let's me take about Belgavi airport. Now see, this is airport. The blue area is the landing strip or the part of the airport area, and 5 kilometer range is the red. Now airport yellow. Well, next to airport 3 kilometers. That is from 5 kilometers till 8 kilometers is your inner yellow. Okay, inner yellow. This yellow zone, if you want to fly a drone, you need to take a permission from ATC. Okay, in this area. Okay, that is from 5 kilometers till 8 kilometers. Okay, that is your inner yellow. Now I activate another yellow, that is outer yellow. Okay, so outer yellow is from 8 kilometers till 12 kilometers. Now in this outer yellow, there are two segments. Outer yellow, there is a below segment which is green zone, which is from ground till 200 feet. There you don't require permission, but the moment you cross that 200 feet, you need a permission of ATC again till 400 feet. Anyway, above 400 feet it is complete yellow only. Okay, so complete Indian airspace is yellow zone because anything above 400 feet is yellow zone and you need a permission because that is a monitored airspace. Okay, anything going above 400 feet is a monitored airspace. It is comes under ATC. So there you need a permission of ATC to fly the drone. Clear? Any questions still? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Ask.
No, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay, okay. Kapil, are you clear? Gautam,
Yes, sir.
Siddharth, are you clear on the zones, space,
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
restrictions? Okay. Now, as I said, yellow zone, you need a permission from ATC because that is a monitored space. Red zone is also been monitored by ATC, but ATC cannot give you permission to fly over there because it's a restricted space. Restricted space, red zone permission can be only given by central government, that is Ministry of Civil Aviation. They only can give you permission. Then only you can fly in red zone. Example, Kempagowda Airport. Do you know where it is?
Bangalore.
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 So Bangalore Airport is Kempagowda Airport. When Kempagowda Airport was getting inaugurated, there was a requirement they wanted to shoot with drones. So they gave a order to one organization that you come and do the aerial photography for us for inauguration of the airport. Now, since it is an airport, it is a red zone. The airport cannot give permission to that body, though they have given the permission. Only behalf of that body, they have to apply to the central government. Okay, so they have to take a permission from the central government to take the or to fly the drone to take the footages. Since it is requirement from the government itself, they got it in 3 days. Normally, you have to apply at least 1 month in prior with proper justification and documentation. Why you need to fly a drone in a red zone? If they are satisfied, they will give you the permission. If they are not satisfied, they might ask you to give you more justification or documentation, or they may reject your application. As simple as that. Clear? I hope you are clear on the requirement. So, red zone, central government; yellow zone, ATC permission. And relevant. See, first is ATC permission in yellow zone, red zone, central government. Once you have the permission, rest of the people you need to intel. I mean, central government might tell, okay, you need to take permission from them, or you may have to get authorization from XYZ body. For example, you want to take a permission, red zone hai, okay, like Tirupati temple is a red zone, but here central government will not on its own just apply. So they will say you first take permission from the devasthan, the trust, whether they are authorizing you to do or not. If they are authorizing, then we'll validate and then give you the permission. You got it? So it is not only that कि आपने central government का permission ले लिया और TDDM will give you the permission. You need to take the permission from even the local authority or whatever it is. There could be, for example, Daulatabad Fort. There was a requirement for a Daulatabad Fort to do a survey. Okay, so they have given us order to one of the body to give a survey of the complete Daulatabad Fort. So they have to take a permission from Geographical Society of India because it was coming under the archaeological. These are archaeological sites or historical sites, okay, or restricted sites. You can't just go there and fly drones anywhere. So you need to, if you need, because see, they will be not monitoring it, but kal somebody gives a tip or somebody complains that so and so person was flying drone on Daulatabad Fort or somebody was flying on Rajgarh Fort or Raigad Fort. You will be in trouble because they will hunt you and they will come and they'll ask you. So then you will be trouble. So rather getting in trouble, you should get a permission from a right body before commencing such kind of activities, especially if you are doing some commercial activity. Even you are doing for fun, you need to be careful. आप जब तक सेफ हो पकड़े गए हो तो nobody is going to save you. As simple as that. I'll tell you one example. One of my student who was an aerial photographer, he was doing a pre-wedding shoot near a forest area. He was not even inside the forest area. वो boundary पे था. Okay, he was doing a pre-wedding shoot, and somebody complained about it, and the police came and they took his drone, and he was taken to the police station for questioning. उसको बाद में छोड़ दिया because he was not inside the area and all that things, but then he was given a warning and they have taken 5,000 rupees as a penalty. Okay, to leave him like that. So that is the case. उसने उसके पहले 10 wedding shoot किया. Nobody asked him, nobody questioned him. He was not caught. But the moment he caught, he was in trouble. As simple as that. Okay, even in Mumbai city, it is a completely red zone, but there are a lot of people fly drones. Like recent example, I told you about the Powai location, right? वो पकड़ा गया तो उसको ले लिया. There are people who are flying drones for real estate photography. Okay, a lot of new buildings are coming. These builders and this lobby, they need photographs of the buildings. So they regularly fly a drone to capture the aerial view of their building or progress of their building or whatever they wanted to show. वो कर रहे हैं, but that is without permission, or they may be intimating to the local police with some confidence that okay, we are only doing for this purpose, and that they may getting a permission from SP, but that also has to be given by a permission from superintendent of police. Then only you can do it. Okay, so if they authorize you, you can do it. Some people take it, some people don't take it. So in case you have a permission, you have access to it. But if you do not have a permission and you without permission you are doing this, you are legally faulty. Okay. I hope I have cleared all your doubts and questions related to red, green, and yellow zones. So you can also go to this website, Digital Sky, okay, dgca.go.in. I will be sending you the link also to this, and then you can some time around it. Okay. So back to the slides. So we talked about the red zone, yellow zone, green zone with their horizontal resolution equal or finer to 10 meters. With respect to their boundary, we talked about from perimeter of the restricted or high security area, 5 kilometers is the red zone. Beyond 5 kilometers, that is up to 8 kilometers, is inner yellow zone. Beyond 8 kilometers till 12 kilometers is outer yellow zone. Beyond 12 kilometers is green. I'll be giving you on the group another picture also, okay, which will give you more clarity. A top view. This is a side view to give you explanation. There is another picture also which will give you a top view of the zone also. Okay, so which will give you more clarity also. So this picture and that picture, I will share it to you on the group by end of the day. Okay, so I will be sharing you a lot of pictures, lot of images which will be helpful for you for your understanding. Till you need any clarification access, please either you can write on WhatsApp or you can connect to me directly WhatsApp. Okay. Now, mandatory pre-flight verification of zonal restriction. Since now you have seen the digital sky map, airspace map, you being as a responsible pilot, tomorrow you will getting a license. Okay, so you can't just take a drone assuming that okay, मैं वैतरनाथ यहाँ पे fly कर रहा हूँ. I know my base is in a green zone. It doesn't mean that I will not check the airspace map. Every time I do a operation, like whenever I am flying a drone over there, first thing in the morning I will see that whether the region is in any kind of restrictions or not. So before commencing of an unmanned aircraft system operation, a remote pilot shall mandatorily verify the digital sky platform for notification restriction applicable to unmanned aircraft system operation in intended area of operation. Requirement: no person shall operate unmanned aircraft system in red or yellow zone without prior permission. That means yellow and red zone without permission, it is completely no. No permission shall be required for operating an unmanned aircraft system in a green zone. Okay, this is a very open-ended statement for green zone. Okay, I gave you enough example. In green zone also, how do you require, what kind of permission you require to fly. Okay. Third, dynamic nature of zoning. The central government may update the airspace map as I showed you. Okay, central government in last 10 days just they have updated their Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, and Jammu Kashmir entire corridor of all these four districts they have put into red zone. Earlier it was not like that. It was only certain places was there, like how other states are, like how Maharashtra you saw, how you saw Karnataka, how you saw Tamil Nadu or any other region. Similarly, these states were also like normal, restrictions were there. But there was now because of the war, that entire districts they have put it into the zone. So that is a dynamic. So central government may update the airspace map on digital sky platform for unmanned aircraft system operation from time to time in order to change the status of area from one zone to start zone. They will take 7 days. So the moment they saw the war has started, they put it. They didn't put immediately the red zone. Okay, it takes some time for them to also to activate and put it into the red zone. So after I think couple of days, it becomes red zone. So now we were just seeing it for last couple of days that it is being shown as a red zone. Now I think it may be there for 1 month. How long it will be there, we do not know, but it will be there at least minimum for 1 month. Okay, so that is the dynamic nature. That's why since the airspace is a dynamic in nature, you need to make sure before commencing of an unmanned aircraft system, remote pilot should mandatorily verify the digital sky platform. Okay, this mandatorily verified digital sky platform is the most important part of your operations. As a drone pilot, you are responsible to see every time before you taking off your drone on digital sky platform whether there is a restrictions or not. If there is no restrictions, take a screenshot and save it for yourself. Okay, do your operations and do it. Normally, there would be something called as putting a flight plan into the digital sky platform. Okay, once the UTM is available, you will book your flight plan. Okay, so we'll see that when we see in the operations part. Okay, so temporary, we saw there are some areas also been marked as a temporary red zone. So, for example, a simple example I would give, there was an election in Palghar region. So, the superintendent of police, for a security reasons, he marked that Palghar region as a temporary red zone. So, what he did is he put that area for 96 hours. Okay, he can mark it only as a temporary red zone for 96 hours. Okay, the temporary red zone shall be declared by an officer not below the rank of superintendent of police or his equivalent, and such officers shall endeavor to keep the size of a temporary red zone reasonable and not excessive. So he should have a justification why he is putting it in a red zone. Limited time, limited period, and limited area. Limited time is 96 hours only for 96, and with proper justification he should put it. An endeavor shall be made to inform through digital sky platform. That means once that superintendent of police or the body who so puts the area into the temporary red zone, there would be an effort will be taken to inform the digital sky platform or other electronic means to all holders of unique identity. Like for example, Palghar area, whatever drones are registered from the Palghar area region who also are having UI number, they will be intimated by electronic means in that region. What? 5 kilometer region from the perimeter of the red temporary red zone of the restriction. So declared under the sub rule 1. But in case such no information is received, it shall not absolve a remote pilot of the responsibility to verify the zonal restrictions on the digital sky platform before commencing an unmanned aircraft system operation. Do you understood what it means? That means they will do red zone declare करेंगे digital sky platform पे भी you will see it. Everything will be there. They will do it. They will take their effort also to intimate. But imagine you are into that zone and you didn't. It is not that you do not know that my Palghar area has become a red zone. I was not aware because till yesterday I was seeing it was red. It was green zone, and today morning 6:30 a.m. only they have changed it to red zone. Okay, so you cannot say that that excuse that I have not seen it. I don't know about it because the moment you decide to fly your drone at a particular location, the first thing you need to see is it is your responsibility as a pilot to check on the platform. You cannot depend on कि मुझे intimation आया नहीं, मुझे ये नहीं हुआ, I was not updated, I was not informed, I didn't get any information, and I did not. All that excuse will not be accepted. It is the end of the day. It is a remote pilot responsibility to verify the restrictions on the digital sky platform. Clear? Any questions so far? And this is a temporary. Temporary result means it is only valid for 96 hours. Okay. So now we are left with couple of slides. These are small slides. Operation of US, carriage of dangerous goods. No person shall carry a dangerous good on unmanned aircrafts unless no such operation is compliance with aircraft of dangerous goods rules to 2023. So there is a document of 2003, the car document which authorize or which tells what is dangerous goods and what is not dangerous goods. Okay, whatever is mentioned in that document is all dangerous goods, right? Your ammunitions or your drugs, all those are dangerous goods and you are not authorized to carry on unmanned aircraft system. Right of way. No person operating an unmanned aircraft system shall violate the right of way of manned aircraft and shall remain clear of all manned aircraft. That means the priority is always for the manned aircraft, irrespective of all your authorization. The right of way is always for the manned aircraft. So even you are having unmanned aircraft flying, you have authorization to fly everything. In case in that location you have a you have a manned aircraft, you will be given a second priority. The priority will be always given. The right of the way or right of flying will be always with the manned aircraft. Okay, and in case of accident, mandatory reporting of accident no later than 48 hours after accident involving an unmanned aircraft system take place. The remote pilot of such unmanned aircraft system shall report the accident to digital director general through digital sky platform. So on digital sky platform there is an option where you can put details about your accident, because if you want to claim for insurance, or you want to report in case you do not have, suppose somebody would have got injured or somebody would have property has got damaged, in that scenario, just to avoid any further legal action, first thing you have to do is reporting of an accident. Same thing like what you do when you crash the car. You go to police station and report, right? That so and so has happened and so and so, so that you don't get into a bigger trouble or bigger legal issues. Okay, the first thing is you do is you report to the police station. Same thing if respect to the drone happens, you need to report to DGCA, not later than 48 hours. So within 48 hours, you need to report, okay, to DGCA. Any questions so far on operations of US? Okay, so let's see now couple of do's and don'ts. So before commencing of any flight of any aircraft, so you should know about that aircraft very well. So know the characteristics of the aircraft and how to fly it safely. So you should know. Like for example, मैं जब pilot बनने का कोशिश करूँगा, I will be trained on a Cessna aircraft, right? Smaller aircraft. But if I am supposed to fly a Boeing, can I fly a Boeing flight? No, right? So if I want to fly a Boeing airplane or Airbus, I need to get a trained on it. I need to be knowing it how to fly it. Then only I have to fly it. For example, I might be a pilot. I am flying a small class drone. I might have flown agribot. But if I'm flying a different drone, first I should know about it, the characteristics, details about it, how to fly it, all that information I should have it. Then only I should attempt of flying of that drone. If I do not know, I should ask or I should get training. Lot of people, like for example, आप small का training, like आप small class का training बन गए, आपको मैंने training drone पे train कर दिया. I have trained you on a training drone, for example, and you go on a field to fly a agribot drone. You are not flown an agribot drone. You are not aware how to fly it and how to do it. In that scenario, the OEM's responsibility is to give you a training, to give you a hands-on of the flying of it initially. Then only he should give you the remote control to fly on your own. Okay, so he might give you some senior pilot to train you for 1 or 2 days, or accompany with him to see how the remote drones have been flown, and then only you can do your solo flights. Okay, even before the flight, you need to make sure that aircraft is safe for a flight before you operate. Means what? There is a checklist which you need to follow, that is called as a pre-flight checklist. You need to go through that checklist. You need to see the components. You need to see the structure. You need to see a lot of aspects with respect to the safe operation of the aircraft. Then only you should fly. Third is fly only in good visibility and good weather conditions. Okay, if the conditions are not good, like for example, sometimes the climate is very foggy. In winter, you will see a lot of foggy. You can't see even 100-meter distance. In that scenario, you should never fly your drone. Okay, so when I went for my master instructor training in Gurgaon, first 2 days was completely foggy. I mean, I could hardly see 50-meter distance. Okay, the person standing 10 meters far also was very difficult for me to see. So first 2 days we didn't fly the drones. So since the weather was not in good condition or good condition to fly, we didn't fly the drones at that. Since you are flying your drone under VLOS condition, keep your aircraft within your sight at all times. Okay, ensure operations of transmitting device of unmanned aircraft system complies with IDA requirement. That means You are flying a drone, you are flying in a visual line of sight. ऐसे नहीं कि आप फ्लाई कर रहे हो और बिल्डिंग के पीछे ड्रोन चला गया. Your drone is not able to communicate with your RC, or your drone is not able to transmit the information to your RC. Those scenarios also you should not fly the drone. Sometimes tree के पीछे चला जाता है, हम tree के पीछे भेज देते हैं. A lot of people do all this kind of gimmicks, and then their drone crashes, और वो टूट जाता है और वो stray away हो जाता है. All those things happen. So you should never do that kind of operations, because we are always intent to fly our drone in visual line of sight. That means keep your aircraft within your sight at all times. And third is, the last option is, keep sufficient distance from people, property, and other aircraft, that is manned or unmanned aircraft. So you need to maintain that distance from people, property, and other aircraft. That aircraft could be manned or unmanned also. So these are rules what you should follow, okay, for safe operations of your aircraft or your drones. What are do nots, okay, or don'ts? Do not fly the aircraft over the crowd. Okay, don't fly an aircraft weighing more than 2 kg. So in our case, it will be more than 2 kg. Okay, this is a general poster of do's and don'ts. So that's why it is showing 7 kg, because this is with respect to US. For in our case, it will be 2 kg, because our 2 kg limit is where the small class starts. So less more than 2 kg है तो हमको we need a permission, we need a license to fly. So do not fly an aircraft weighing more than 7 kg. वहाँ पे हमारा आएगा 2 kg. Beyond or less than 2 kg we can fly, because micro drone we can fly, nano drone we can fly. Do not suspend or carry any attach any item to aircraft unless it is manufactured. We don't try to. A lot of people try some gimmicks by attaching something to their drone. कोई drone के नीचे कुछ banner लगाता है, कोई do lot of adventurous activities do there. Like if you see on the fifth option, do not drop or discharge any item on a substance from the aircraft. I've seen a lot of people who have purchased DJI Phantom drone. They have put a case below that drone, a small plastic box they have kept. They have made some what do you say, automation to that, where the case opens automatically from the below. So they put flowers into that, and they drop those flowers on the bride and groom's head, okay, and the people standing there during the wedding and all that. So this is not allowed. This is not to be done. This is not allowed, because that box is not come with that drone. It is not been certified. You should not do all those things ideally, okay. But there are people doing it to gain some commercial benefit out of it, okay. Do not carry any hazardous substance using the aircraft. That means any arms, ammunition, or any dangerous goods you should not carry using these drones. Do not fly where you may interfere with emergency service providers or over moving vehicles where you can endanger or distract drivers. A lot of people, fly the drone once and they bring the drone very close to the moving vehicles, okay, or car, or anything, or even emergency service providers, like they may chase the ambulance or something like that. So you should not do all these things until unless you are required or you are authorized to do that. Like, a lot of time police uses drones for tracking the criminals or tracing, or what do you say, following the criminals for and all that. So in that scenario, you are authorized. You are helping law enforcement for doing their work and all that. So since you are authorized, then only you can do that. Else you are not allowed to do that. And do not fly within 5 kilometers of any airport, military airbase, or higher than 200 feet. Okay, 200 or 400 feet, whatever it is, as per the limit. Do not fly the aircraft over and within restricted, prohibited, danger area, including security sensitive locations. Okay, so whatever the locations are being termed as restricted, prohibited, danger areas, including security sensitive locations. Okay, like nuclear test facilities are there, or nuclear labs are there. All those locations you should not fly your drones. Okay, so clear on do's and don'ts. So this is about remote pilot certificate. I think you must be already aware that no individual other than holder of valid remote pilot license and listed on digital sky platform shall operate an unmanned. Until unless you are a valid certified pilot, you should not fly your drone. Okay, remote pilot license shall be specifically mentioned category. That means in your case it will be small, subcategory will be R pass, classification. Sorry, category will be rotorcraft, subcategory will be RPAS, classification will be small, and there is a condition which is called as real loss. Okay, so all these 4 points would be mentioned on your certificate, and with that condition only you are able to fly your drone. Okay, so this certificate is issued for a person who is above 1065, has passed 10th examination and successfully completed training. That means you have success. I have to certify behalf of you that you have successfully completed your RPTO training, your RPC training you have completed from authorized remote pilot training organization, that is BFC. Will be sending your documentation to DGCA, then only your certificate is generated or your license is being generated. So as we take your theory test, as we take your simulator test, as we take your flying test, all that results will be sent to DGCA. We'll be compiling all that documents and sending it to DGCA for your license documentation. Clear? So for getting the license, applications and procedure, this is basically for us to follow or RPTU to follow. So for us, when you complete your training, I will or my team will be actually filling form D4. Okay, so D4 for getting the remote pilot license, and this is application for remote pilot license to be filled by RPTO. That means we are authorized to fill this form. You cannot do it as your individual. So we are authorized to fill this form. So we will be submitting all your details, like you see as the date of birth, latest photograph, Aadhaar card number, Indian passport number, email address, phone number, your residential address. So all this information will come on your digital certificate, on your RPC, your certificate. Okay, and then all details like from our side, who was like Bombay Flying Club was a training organization. Our authorization number will come. This number will also appear on your certificate. What category of US you have been trained, whether you are trained on aeroplane, rotorcraft, or hybrid. So in your case, it will be rotorcraft. What was the subcategory? So your subcategory was RPAS. What was the class of yours? So your class will be small. Then training certificate number issued by RPTO. So there is a training certificate which will be given to you. So we will be giving you a training certificate also. There will be two certificates given to you. One is Bombay Flying Club ka certificate. That is a training. You have completed your training. And then on that basis, your RPC is generated, which is given or issued by DGCA. So we are authorized to issue a certificate to you behalf of DGCA as of now. Okay. So validity of your license is entitled on a digital sky platform. So moment you are getting a certificate, your name will appear there. As of now, earlier there was a list, online list was maintained by digital sky platform. This digital sky platform which I showed is going to move into a new platform that is called EGCA. Okay, so there is a new website is getting developed by the digital sky platform. The digital sky platform is going to move. So as of now, they are maintaining in a PDF format. So the moment you complete your certification, end of the month, they will update that PDF document over there. Yeah, Nishant, you have a question?
Uh, so on the previous slide, can you just
Yeah.
so as we spoke earlier, no, the my passport has expired. So then, what can I do about that Indian passport number? It will be mandatory.
No. See, this is the old form. Okay, this is the old form. Earlier, passport was mandatory. Now, instead of passport, you do not have a passport, voter ID, driving license, and ration card. These are the three documents we can take in behalf of passport. Okay, so I
That's
think
it.
you
That's it.
have submitted your driving license, right? I guess
Yes. Yes.
you have submitted a driving license, so that will be used. Okay, so basically, when you get a license, there is a number generated on behalf of you. So the numbers, what are there, like how your PAN number is generated from your name and other information. Similarly, here RPC number is being generated based on from where you have done the training, what was your batch, what was your roll number, what is the document you have submitted, what is your name, your first name and the last name, first words are also part of your number. So it's a very unique number. Okay, no pilot in India will have the same details. Okay, it's a very unique number will be generated. which we share to the DGC all details. Okay, based on that, number is getting generated. Okay. Later on, I will
Okay.
show you tomorrow when I go to Digital Sky platform about the earlier how the data was mentioned and how currently data is mentioned. Later on, everything will be digital. You will get a login also on the Digital Sky platform where all your operations will be tracked. All your flying can also be tracked. All your approvals can also be tracked over there. Okay, so that will happen later stage. Okay. So exemptions of obtaining the license, no remote pilot license shall be required for operating nano. If you are flying a nano drone, you don't require a remote pilot license. So nano drone you can fly without a license. Similarly, you can fly a micro drone also, provided you are flying it for non-commercial purpose. Okay, if you are just flying for a sake of fun and yourself, not commercial activities, you can fly it without a license. Okay. Now, drone insurance. As I said, it is very mandatory for any drone to have a drone insurance. So, drone insurance follows the same rules or same regulations what is been provided into the Motor Vehicle Act of 1988, and the rules made thereunder shall apply mutandi mutandis to the third party insurance of unmanned aircraft system and compensation in case of damage to life or property caused by such an unmanned aircraft system. So your drone follows all the rules and regulations what is applicable for your car. Okay, so as per the car mobility rules or motor vehicle act rule, same rule are applicable to your unmanned aircraft system also. Okay, so whatever procedure everything is been followed by the insurance company, they will follow the same thing for your drone once it is been given insurance. So it is your job to make sure that your drone is being insured under third party insurance. So who gives you the insurance? Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, that is IRDA, is the authority who makes this insurance product. So earlier, when initially 2021, 2022, there was none of the insurance company were giving insurance. But later on, when government issued them the guidelines and all those things, they started preparing a separate insurance policy for drones. And now there are a lot of insurance company like National Insurance, then your ICICI Lombard, then Tropogo Insurance. These are companies which gives you the insurance for drone. Okay, Nano is being exempted from taking the insurance, whereas all other four classes, that is micro, small, medium, and large, all drones would require third-party insurance. Clear? So insurance is mandatory for all drones except Nano. So why drone insurance? Because drone are prone to crash owing to bad weather, power failure, or inexperienced pilot. Drone crash means damage to the body or the drone, damage to the payload, which is the drone is carrying the hull, damage to any person or property on whom the crashing drone lands or falls. That is your liability. So in that scenario, in all these scenarios, you need to have your drone insurance to be done. So valid drone insurance policy would cover either or all of above damages. So you need to know when you are taking a policy what is covered and what is not covered. Okay. So what can be covered? Mandatory third-party liability drone insurance available plan. So depending upon your requirement, accordingly you can take the policy. It could be for 4 hours, it could be for 8 hours, it could be for one day, it can be for 5 days, it can be for 7 days, it can be for 10 days, it can be for 1 month, it can be for 3 months, it can be 6 months, or it can be for 1 year also. So it is a flexibility. Depending upon the amount, depending upon the liability, your premium will change. Okay, so when you are supposed to take an insurance, the insurance company will ask you to provide the drone serial number, drone UN number, and drone images, front, back, top, side, along with the serial number photographs. So all this will be required. Then they will ask you what is the coverage you want, how much lakh of coverage you want, whether it is 10 lakh, 20 lakh, depending on the plan and your coverage, your liability, and all the things. Based on that, your premium will be defined. Okay, same thing like how we take the car insurance or bike insurance. Okay, clear on the insurance part? Or we have any questions on the insurance? I think Gautam, you asked about this question. I hope you got now answer.
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so we talked about when we were talking about form D1, D2, D3, D4. Every time we talk about fees. So fees is nothing but rule number 46. Okay, so rule number 46 says about different fees for issuance of certificate of airworthiness, that is type 1 certification or form 1. Your fees is 100 rupees. For issuance, transfer or deregistration of UIN number, fees is 100 rupees. That is for your form D2 and D3. For listing or renewal of remote pilot license, that is your license. Okay, so that is form number D4. Again, the fee is just 100 rupees. Authorization or renewal of RPTO. This is for us. Okay, for us when we make application for authorization of RPTO, we have to make a form D5 which takes around fee of 1000 rupees. After 10 years, our license or authorization is valid for 10 years. After 10 years, again I want to renew. Again, I have to pay 1000 rupees. So all these fees in car 2018 was very complex. Somewhere it was 1000 rupees, somewhere it was 5000 rupees, somewhere it was 10,000 rupees. So all this was removed in drone rules 2021. Now it is made very simple and very basic minimum charges. Okay, 100 and 1000 rupees. That's it. Even in penalty pies, penalty earlier it was in lakh. Right now, as per the drone rule 2021, DGCA cannot penalize you above 1 lakh rupees. Minimum they can only penalize you up to is 1 lakh rupees. Earlier कुछ 10 lakh, 12 lakh, 25 lakh ऐसा amount था written. Okay, so that has been all been removed. Okay, अगर see for example your drone is carrying 1-2 lakh rupees and you put a fine of 10 lakh rupees. Nobody will pay 10 lakh. बोले छोड़ दो मुझे नहीं चाहिए drone, right? So you will stop. You will stop using the drone itself. Like lot of people, car crash करते हैं तो अगर बड़ा liability आ जाता है तो people just drop the car itself. वो कार पड़ा रहता है police station में सालों साल, right? Later on after 15 years, police station scrap that car because there was no claim on that part and all. So that should not happen because government of India wants people to use drones. The government of people want adoption of the drones. That's why these changes has been incorporated in the drone rule 2021. So पहले वाला जो drone rules था, as per the car document, it was having lot of forms. Like I said, there were 25 forms. Now we are only talking about 5 forms. Very simple process, simple understanding, and a very clear definition of the rules and regulations. So if you see drone rules 2021, there are 12 parts into it. There are 55 rules. Only 55 rules are there. So you need to, that 55 rules are important with respect to drone rules 2021 operations and all other activities. Okay. So cancellation, suspension, like in case you do something wrong or something, the DGCA comes to know, they may cancel your uh, license, certificate, authorization, or approval granted as per the drone rules 21. So they may initially question you, they will give you the writing or they may give you warning and all the things. But if you do not provide right justification, right explanation to them, it may cancel or it may suspend your license, certificate, authorization, approval granted under this rule. Like for example, you do mistake in flying your drone, so they may give you warning initially. But if that is a serious, they may cancel your license. They may cancel your certificate. They may cancel or suspend your authorization also or approval also, whatever it is. Okay. So penalty and power to inspect. Penalty, as I said, as per this drone rules, DGC can levy a penalty not exceeding rupees 1 lakh rupees in accordance to with the provision section 10A of the Act. Okay, so earlier as per the Act there was a huge penalty, but now they have limited only up to 1 lakh rupees. Power to inspect. DGCA has complete power to inspect, ask any person related to these drone rules. Okay, may inspect any unmanned. They can inspect your drone. They can inspect your facility. They can ask or integrate you also with respect to the operations of the unmanned aircraft system. Okay, so these all these things are, see, you see when I show you the drone rules, the document, you will see all these are there in that document. Okay, so this is the last slide where it summarizes about the mandatory things. So drone registration is required for nano, micro, small, medium and large. Drone certification is not required for nano, but it is required for micro, small, medium and large. License pilot. Pilot license is required for micro, small, medium and large. You will see here, earlier I showed that micro you don't require a pilot license, but pilot license is required if you are using micro drone in case of commercial activity. If you are not doing commercial activity, then you don't require a pilot license. You don't require permission in green zone. That's why there is no tick mark. Permission in yellow zone, yes. Any drone you fly in yellow zone, you require permission. Any drone you fly in red zone, you require permission. You fly a drone for R&D, education and testing, you don't require permission. But that doesn't mean that you can do R&D or education or testing in red and yellow zone. It has to be done in green zone only. ओके, यू डोंट से कि मैं तो R&D कर रहा था, एयरपोर्ट पे R&D कर रहा था, वो R&D आपको फिर एयरपोर्ट का लॉकअप में करवाएंगे. Okay, so you have to be clear where we are doing what. Okay, so see, this is just a summary. There is a detailed write-up given in the drone rules 2021. Okay, with that we complete our first session. We have taken a very long time